Right, good evening. I am here with Darren and Blake. We have some exciting news. So, Darren, would you like to fire away for us?
Yeah, evening Gary. Yeah, thanks for coming down. I think obviously we are excited, as we've made no secret of now for a long time. You know, we've been looking to try to develop a site and a facility which can potentially, in time, facilitate the whole club. Maybe this latest development has given us what is probably a very small step at this stage, but a chink of light that we haven't previously had in terms of developing Roundshaw, where we're in the pavilion this evening, in the way of receiving finally permission for floodlights on the main pitch. So in itself may not feel like the biggest bit of news, but I think from our point of view it's the opening that we've looking for, because so many of the grounds have struggled. I guess if you look at the clubs that are around locally that have struggled to kick on, generally the blocker has been no floodlight permission.
Yeah, and let's be fair, it's taken us a hell of a long time to get to this stage. And as you say, it might be small steps, but it is a massive step in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. For us, I think it feels like a real significant landmark in terms of where we want to get to. I'm under no illusion that it's, as I say, it's just a very small step in the process. You know, there's obviously now securing the funding to realise the lights, but just to know that we've got permission to put 8 to 15 metre columns, LED columns out there on pitch one, and start what will be a potentially 2-3 year development process is a huge step forward for the club.
You said funding. How is that looking at the moment? Because obviously it's all well and good having permission, but if we've got nothing in the coffers, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we are incredibly blessed to have received a sizable donation in the first instance from the Roundshaw Community Fund, who have confirmed that what we were looking for from them, what we'd gone to them to seek, has been secured, subject to obviously being able to get the rest of the money.
Yeah, sure.
Which through the foundation there is still a deficit, which we look at the moment, and possibly £3,000 to £5,000 that the club will have to raise.
Yeah.
So not a small amount of money, but I guess if somebody had told us from the get-go that if you can raise £5,000, you're going to have state-of-the-art LED floodlights, remote control, Bluetooth, operational, outside, in front of our pavilion on the main pitch, we'd have bit the hand off.
Yeah, sure. And you say it's from the Roundshaw Community Fund, and obviously it's vital that you get the locals on side.
Of course.
And that appears to be where they are at the minute.
Yes, yeah. I think it was it was incredibly gracious to get that sum, that sum of money, and it is what we've asked them for is a considerable, it's quite a sizable amount of money. It's circa 25% of the project. So at this stage, it's not inconsiderable at all. But obviously now we have to lock in the rest of the funds. We need to just dot the I's and cross the T's on the rest of it before we can go to the foundation to hopefully get the 70% share that we believe that we can get from them.
Okay, and let's be fair. It's not just the flood. Whilst it is the floodlights that the funding has come in for, it's part of a bigger plan to turn this sort of into a bit of a community hub.
Yeah, massively. I think with what we're doing at the moment in terms of the development, the work with the community, I think it's absolutely essential that we can become sustainable, fully self-sustainable for the future here. Part of that is being able to develop the outside areas to maximise
Let someone else edit that.
part of that is obviously to develop the outside areas to maximise the use and revenue potential, but also to enable us to broaden, the offerings that we have here. In terms of midweek development football, we have probably in the region of 12 senior sides that play out of here currently, from all across the borough on Sundays. So the offering that we have is really diverse and very very community focused. And again, we're looking to expand on that, and I think obviously that's probably more something that maybe Blake might want to pick up on.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with all of the stuff we've gone on here, and getting these floodlights in not only helps obviously what we plan to do anyway, but with all the youth training, the majority of which is currently a power league, we'll be able to bring that in here. We'll be able to get other people, other use out of it at the same time, and it will just be such a unique position for the club, because it will be something we've never been able to access or tap into, and it's just such an exciting prospect to finally be able to run it out of one facility rather than sort of have to go elsewhere to get what we need. Obviously the first team training when it's midweek we need to go somewhere else for it. Obviously, as I said before, the youth and just the general prospect of being able to get floodlights out there for the club is honestly, it's so exciting. And
yeah, I think just touching on that as well a little bit. We're under no illusion that's it's not going to be an immediate fix for the first team to be here, but but potentially having the training facility, being able to include more community users in that, looking at as we said, currently our teams that are playing and training at Power League and those third party places, we're grateful for them, but we want that use here. We need to increase the use here, beyond what it is now. So, whether that's development football, disability football, women and girls football, these are all avenues that we're barely able to touch upon, at this moment in time. So, hopefully, this offers the opportunity for us to really kind of drive into those markets as well.
Would it be too much of a stretch to say that if this all goes to plan, it would be the saving of the club? Because being a ground sharing club, how long is that fully sustainable for?
Yeah, it's a really good point. I think it's one that we ask ourselves on an annual basis. You can't continue to line somebody else's pocket. And while we're immensely appreciative of the fact that these clubs have stepped up and offered us the facility, it comes at a cost, and it's not an insurmountable cost that you have to find every year before you kick a ball, so the revenue from the usage here going forward, in terms of, as I think I touched upon earlier, both external use and internal use, and developing the actual facility internally as well, the clubhouse, is absolutely critical to our long-term survival.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Exciting times ahead. Is there anything else you want to add?
Anyone fancies helping us to raise the additional £5,000, we'll have a link on our social medias for our funding stream. So dig deep into your pockets. Maybe in turn we'll give you a free session or two when the floodlights are in. But seriously, we thank everyone that has supported so far, and we need for that to continue for a bit.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you.